Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team. I'm going to show you a test run at Lanier National Speedway today. That's in Brazelton, Georgia. Lanier is a 3/8 mile asphalt track with 8-degree banking in the corners. To give you an idea of how that banking compares to tracks you might know if you're one of our fans from Missouri, 11 and I-44 Speedway has about a 20-degree banking. So at 8 degrees, Lanier is a little flatter and maybe just a little wider than I-44 is. A couple things to note: always take a look at the weather here. 82 degrees track temperature. That's a decent track temperature, and it should provide plenty of grip. Take a quick look in the garage here. We're running 10 degrees on the left, 10 pounds on the left, 14 pounds on the right for tire pressures. The toe end's at 3/16 of a degree. That may be a little wide, but we're going to leave it for now. An unusual setup here in that the left front spring is the stiffest of all the springs. But we're going to go ahead and hop out here on the track and take a few quick laps around Lanier National. Today I'm in the A&W Root Beer 00. Also note that I've got the pit road speed limiter engaged, so I don't have to worry about speeding on pit lane. We're going to come out of the pits here at the green cones, stay underneath that yellow dashed line, and then blend up on the back straightaway. Now, Lanier National, the line's fairly straightforward. It's pretty close to the ideal line. You let the car drift out high, come up close to the wall, and turn down in.
20.40.
I use almost no brake here. It's very rare that I use brake. Get back on the throttle, woo, a little bit loose coming out, and then follow that ghost car around. I typically let the car come drift out of the corner.
14.928.
Also turn in a little later than the ideal driving line. Rolling in and out of the throttle is really important here for a couple of reasons. One,
14.7.
throttle management is a little easier on tires, and so if you're not just mashing the throttle, your tires are going to last better. And as Robert Duvall said in Days of Thunder, tires are
14.69.
It's very true here at Lanier, where in a 40-lap race with about 10 laps to go is when your tire wear patterns are really going to come to the fore.
14.9.
So let's just take a few laps here. We'll just kind of ride and watch and listen. Ooh, this is a good lap. Come on, is it going to work? Is it going to work?
14.66.
So just within spitting distance of the best lap I've ever run at Lanier. 0.03 of a second off. Car tends to be a little wiggly on cold tires, but as they warm up, you really start to feel that car come back to you. A little tight coming out there. Almost got the wall. Nice thing about virtual cars, though, is all you got to do is press a button to fix them.
14.872.
If you can run down into the 14.6s at Lanier and consistently run in the 14.7s, you're going to have a pretty fast race car. This car feels a little tight, just a tiny bit.
14.839.
Not sure what we need to do to loosen this car up. Just a touch tight. Could also be my entry. You kind of have to let the car drift down as you turn in.
14.831.
And then as you come out of the corner, you really want to let the car drift out wide. I got a little bit on the apron there. That just about spun us out. Let's see if we can save it. There you go. Woohoo! Yeah, so I got down on the apron. That didn't help any. Let's go ahead and run a couple more laps here.
20.719. .036.
There we go. That was a good entry and exit in this corner.
14.687.
right, let's see if we can figure out how to loosen this car up a little bit. So I'm just
15.037.
going to pull off to the inside here, and we'll see about maybe loosening this car up. Take a look at the chassis. We could go quite a little ways. If we go up a pound here, or 1 click here, we're going to drop 3% crossweight. I think that's probably too much. Maybe do a couple clicks here and see what happens. We went up 2 clicks on both of the right sides, dropped us by 1/10%. In terms of crossweight, that should loosen the car up just a little bit. Let's go see if it did. We'll work our way back out of the pits here, down the pit road again with the pit road speed limiter engaged. I also have the driving line engaged. It just makes practice a little simpler. And as you work with it, you can develop a better feel for where your braking and turning points are going to be. Turn back in here now, see if the car feels a little looser. It may be because I can't tell. It's a little early.
20.106.
Whoa, there, you can feel it there. Ooh, boy, was that loose. We did manage to save it though.
15.277.
And also, most of the time at most tracks, not just at Lanier, these little Legends cars tend to be fairly loose. They tend to hop and skip around quite a bit.
14.92.
They do settle down as the tires warm up, but they're pretty loose and even a little bit jittery until the tires warm up. So you kind of have to be gentle with that throttle pedal to keep from spinning yourself out.
14.808.
Tires are coming in now. Let's see if we can turn some laps here.
.729. .687. .808.
All right, come on. See if I can get out of the corner here.
14.689.
Spitting distance just not quite good enough.
14.682.
Not quite good enough to get that best lap time ever. But I'll take 14.7s all day.
14.71.
Used a little brake getting in that time, and it seemed to have helped. We won't use any brake in this corner. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on, hang on. Not quite good enough.
14.666.
That was super duper loose coming out.
14.717.
just a little too loose now.
.748.
Let's run a couple more laps here and we'll call it good. A little bit of brake right there. Let's see what happens. Woohoo! Hello. Okay. Got on the throttle a little too quick and got paid for it. Woohoo! Touched the wall there. I'm just getting all kinds of sloppy.
15.268.
And you can really feel it's loose now. So probably a little too loose for later in the run. So it may have given us a little bit more speed early. Can't tell for sure. We got really close to the best ever lap I've turned. but it looks to me like it's loosening the car up on a line.
14.865.
I think if I were trying to get into race trim here, I'd probably drop that back down a couple clicks, go back to the settings where I was when we first started this practice and see if I couldn't run a 40 lapper, and see just how much I dropped off over the course of those 40 laps. As you can see right now, this car is pretty really loose coming out, but it's a pretty quick race car, even after running 30 laps or so.
15.245.
Well, that's it from Lanier National Speedway. I hope you've enjoyed getting to take a few laps in the A&W Root Beer 00. If you want to get a look at the car, we can hop out here and take a look at the car as it runs around the racetrack. This is inspired by A&W Root Beer. I shamelessly stole graphics from A&W Root Beer's website and used those graphics to build the paint scheme for this stock car. For the Johnson iRacing team, this is Aaron Johnson saying so long from Lanier National Speedway in Brazelton, Georgia.